Today we review the final exam. Review chapter from chapter 6 to 10 for the intermediate algebra. First question, multiply or divide, and if possible, simplify. The first question, A, t squared minus 4 over 12t times 9t squared over t squared minus 4t plus 4. First of all, we factor t squared minus 4. We use formula. It's a squared minus b squared equal to a minus b times a plus b. So the t squared minus 4. 4 is 2 squared. So the t put it in a, 2 put it in b. So get t minus 2. T plus 2. So this t squared minus 4 factor as t minus 2, t plus 2 times the 9 we can factor as 3 times 3, t squared factor as t times t. 12t we can factor as 3 times 4 times t, and times t squared minus 4t plus 4. Use formula t squared minus 2ab plus b squared equals a minus b quantity squared. So it's t squared minus 2 times a is the t, and b is 2 because 2 times 2 is still 4t. 2 times 2t, it's 4t. So 4 divided by 2, you got 2, and plus 2 squared, it's 4. So we'll factor as the t minus 2 quantity squared. So it's t minus 2 quantity squared. So it's t minus 2 times t minus 2. Cancel common factor t minus 2. Cancel common factor 3. Cancel common factor t. So remain 3t times t plus 2 over 4 times t minus 2. And number 1b, it's 16 minus 4t over 5 divided by t minus 4 over 25t. So division, we need to change this division to the multiplication. Here 16 minus 4t. 16 minus 40 common factor is 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 40 divided by 4 is t divided by 5. Then change this division to multiplication. Reciprocal. 25t is 5 times 5 times t. T minus 4. T minus 4 is t plus negative 4. And by the communicated property of addition, so t plus negative 4 is the same as negative 4 plus t. And then you insert the parentheses. This plus change to minus. So it's 4. But because you negative times 4 is negative 4. Negative times negative is plus t. So they are equal. So this is equal to negative 4 minus t. T minus 4 reciprocal. Put on the denominator. So cancel the common factor. 4 minus t cancel. 5 cancel. So, and remain negative sign with 4 times 5 times t. So it's negative 4 times 5 is 20. Negative 20t. And the question 2. We do addition and subtraction of rational expression. A, y squared over y minus 3 plus 3 minus y, 5y minus 6. So first of all, we have to change, because y minus 3 and 3 minus y, we have to get the same denominator. And the y minus 3 minus y, and do the same way as this one. 3 minus y is equals 3 plus negative y. And then you can exchange communicate property, get negative y plus 3. And then you insert the parentheses and plus change to minus. And you get y minus 3, negative. So we'll get y squared, y minus 3, and 5y minus 6. And this is a negative. This negative sign times with plus sign. So become minus and y minus 3. Because this is a negative y minus 3. And then this negative times plus and become minus. And same denominator, y minus 3. And y minus 3. So you can subtract the numerator. Y squared. And this one have a parenthesis. 5y minus 6. Then remove the parentheses. So it's y minus 3, y squared minus 5y. Negative times negative become plus 6. And then equal to y minus 3. Factor this y. We need two numbers timed together is 6. Add together is negative 5. So will be what? Will be negative 2, negative 3. Negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. Negative 2 add a negative 3 is a negative 5. So cancel common factor y minus 3 and get y minus 2 is the answer. Number 2b. Also do the addition. T over t plus 2 and plus a over 4 minus t squared. Now also this one, 4 minus t squared, we can change to 4 minus t squared is equal 4 plus negative t squared. Exchange the order by commutative property, get negative t squared plus 4. Then put the parentheses, and you got it's a t squared minus 4. So that will be t over t plus 2. And 4 minus t squared become negative quantity t squared minus 4. So this negative sign times with positive sign and become minus. Minus a over this t squared minus 4. T squared minus 4, we can factor it. T squared minus 4, use the formula. The formula, it's a squared minus b squared equals a minus b, a plus b. T squared minus 4, 4 is 2 squared. T put in a, 2 put in b, got t minus 2, t plus 2. So it's t minus 2, t plus 2. And then the 2 need to be the same denominator. So find LCD. Here has t plus 2. Here has t plus 2. And this one has t minus 2. So in order to get same denominator, and this both numerator and denominator times by t minus 2. Now they have the same denominator. So same denominator, the numerator, same denominator is t plus 2, t minus 2. Numerator distributed in, get t squared minus 2t, then minus a. And then factor the numerator. So the t plus 2, t minus 2, and t, and need two numbers. Timed together, it's a negative a. Add together is a negative 2. That will be minus 4. Negative 4 times positive 2 is negative 8. Negative 4 add positive 2 is negative 2. Now then we cancel the common factor, t plus 2. So we got it's a t minus 4 over t minus 2. The next question, solve the equation. Question 3. Solve the rational equation. X plus 4 over x equal negative 7. Solve for the x. Solve for the x. You can do it's multiply the both sides. X plus 4 over x equal -7. So you multiply on the left by x, on the right by x. They still equal. Then distribute it in. Then become x, each term times by x. X times x is x squared. 4 over x times x. Cancel x, get 4 equals. -7 times x is -7x. Now this is a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation, we have to put it in standard form. Standard form of quadratic equation. It's ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. All the term on the left side, the right side is 0, where a is non-zero. A is non-zero. That's the standard form. So we have to make all the term on the left. So add 7x both sides and put in descending order according the degree of each the term. 2, 1. C is x to the power 0. C is cx to the power 0 because x to the power 0 it's 1. So degree is 2, 1, 0. So then we put it in descending order. X squared plus 7x plus 4 equal right side is 0. And since we cannot factor this quadratic equation, so we use quadratic formula. Quadratic formula solution is x equals 2a negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Quadratic formula. So here a is 1, b is 7, c is 4. And plug it into the formula. Plug it into formula. So get x equals 2a, a is 1, negative b is 7, plus minus square root of b squared. B is 7 minus 4, a is 1, c is 4. Plug it in. So then equals 2 times 1 is 2, negative 7 plus minus square root of 7 squared 49 minus 4 times 1 times 4 is 16. And then you got is 2, negative 7 plus minus square root of 33. This is a irrational number as the solutions. This one is a positive. 33 is a positive, but cannot be, it's not perfect square number. So we cannot square it out and leave answer with a radical. So it's two real numbers as two real solutions. And also it's an irrational number. It's two irrational number as solutions. If this one, b squared minus 4ac, is a positive and not perfect square number, there are two irrational number as solutions. Question 3b. 3b is 2 equals 4 over x minus 1 plus 4 over x plus 2. Solve for the x. And so first of all, we find LCD. The two times together is LCD. So LCD is the two factor times together. Is LCD. So we do then we do each term times by LCD. So each term times by LCD. So on the left side times x minus 1 and x plus 2. And on the right side times x minus 1, x plus 2. And on this term times x minus 1, x plus 2. Then cancel the common factor. So this 2, x minus 1, x plus 2 equals. X minus 1 cancel, remain 4, x plus 2. And plus x plus 2 cancel, remain 4, x minus 1. Then multiply out, remove the parentheses use the FOIL. X times x is x squared. Outer term product, 2x. Inner term product, negative x. Combined is a positive x. Last term product, negative 2 times 2 is minus 2, equal to 4x. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 4x and minus 4. Then distributive in. 2x squared plus 2x minus 4 equal to 4x plus 4x is 8x. A minus 4 is plus 4. Then move all the term to the left side, or you do minus 8x both sides and minus 4 both sides, and those are 0. So you got is 2x squared, 2x minus 8x minus 6x. Negative 4 added negative 4, it's a negative 8 equals 0. Then have a common factor 2, divided by 2 each term. So 2x squared divided by 2x squared, 6x minus over 2, minus 3x. Negative 4 over 2, negative 4 equals 0 divided by 2 is 0. Then factor x squared, factor as xx. Negative 4, we can use two numbers tying together, it's negative 4. And add together, negative 4, add 1 is a negative 3. Add together is a negative 3. So therefore, either first factor, x minus 4 equals 0, or second factor, x plus 1 equals 0. So you got x equal 4, or x equal negative 1. And when you got the solution, always have to check with denominator on the original equation. 4, the x equal 4, put into denominator. We got two solutions, 4, negative 1. So 4, put into the denominator. Got 4 minus 1 is 3. 4 plus 2 is 6, is non-zero. So x equal 4 is a solution. Another one, negative 1. X equal negative 1, plug into the denominator. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Negative 1 add 2 is 1. They are non-zero. So the two are solutions. 4 and negative 1 are solutions. Make denominator non-zero. They are solutions. Then question 3C. Also solve for y. Y plus 2, y minus 2 equals 4 over y minus 2. Now, since they have same denominator, y minus 2, and solve for y, so numerator should be equal. So your denominator are equal. So therefore, y plus 2 equal 4. Or you can do times by y minus 2 both sides. And y minus 2 cancel. And so you got y plus 2 equal 4. And then you minus 2 both sides, you got y equal 2. And y equal 2, and you have to plug into denominator to check. It is 2 minus 2, make denominator is 0. So this is invalid solution. So this question you will answer is no solution. No solution. Or you put empty set. It's no solution. The next one, D, 3D. It's also solve for the x. 6 over x minus 3 plus 10 over x plus 2 equals 10x over x squared minus x minus 6. First of all, this x squared minus x minus 6, we can factor 6x minus 3 plus 10 over x plus 2 equals 10x. This one, x, we need two numbers tying together is negative 6. So it's negative 3 times 2, negative 6. Negative 3 added 2, it's a negative 1. External coefficient is negative 1. So this, then This one have x minus 3. This denominator is x plus 2, and this denominator have both. So LCD will be this one. So then we do each term times by x minus 3, x plus 2. This side times by x minus 3, x plus 2. Each term. This term times by x minus 3, x plus 2. And on the right side also times by x minus 3, x plus 2. Cancel common factor. X minus 3 cancel, x plus 2 cancel, x minus 3 cancel, x plus 2 cancel. So this remains 6x plus 2 plus 10 times x minus 3 equal, the two term cancel, two factor cancel, equal 10x. Distributive in, remove the parentheses, 6x plus 12 plus 10x minus 30 equal 10x. Then add together 16x. The two terms add together minus 18 equal 10x. And then move this over, change the sign. Move 10x over, change the sign, become minus 10x equal. Negative 18, move over, change the sign, become plus, positive 18. 16x minus 10x is 6x equal 18. Then divided by 6. So x will be 3. After you got the solution, always have to check with the original equation. In the denominator, 3 minus 3 is 0. 6 divided by 0 is undefined. There's no value. Also, you plug in here. Also, make denominator is 0. So this x equals 3. It's invalid. So this answer, it's no solution. No solution. Or you can put empty set. There's no solution. Next question. Question 4 is going to simplify radicals of a square root of 75. Simplify square root of 75. Since the 75, you can do divided by 5. It's 15 divided by 5 is 3. So it's a 5 squared times 3. And take square root. And then you use the product rule of radicals. Product rule. It's nth root of AB equal nth root of A times nth root of B. Quotient rule of radical is nth root of A over B equals nth root of A over nth root of B. And then exponent and the radical exchange rule, which is A to the power m nth root equals A to the power m over n. You can exchange the order. So this one separate. Then you will get 5 square, take square root, and 3 take square root. And 5 square and square root are inverse operation. Get 5 square root of 3. And 4b, it's a cubic root, negative 8 over x cubed. So this one also separate cubic root. Negative 8 is negative 2 cubed. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 8. Separate, use the quotient rule. Quotient rule is cubic root on numerator and cubic root on the denominator. And then cube and cubic root cancel each other, get negative 2. Cubic roots cancel each other, get x. And for C, it's square root of 121a squared. 121 is 11 square. Take square root. A square, take square root. 11 square root cancel each other. It's 11. A square, take square root. You have to put absolute value. because if for example like a -3 squared, if you don't if a is a -3, you just put -3, that will be wrong because -3 squared is 9. Take -3 squared is 9 and take square root become +3. So you put absolute value. If this is -3, if it is -3, take absolute value become +3, become positive number. So a is here represented any real numbers, including negative. So this a square, take square root. Any number you square, take square root, it should be absolute value of x. 4D. 4D it's square root of x squared minus ax plus 16. So this one you can use formula or you can use you can do either way. X squared factor is x. X times x squared. You need 16. 16 is you find two numbers tied together is 16. Add together is -8. That will be -4, -4. Tying together is +16. -4 add -4 is -8. So this is the square root of x minus 4 squared. X minus 4 squared. Quantity squared. So square root cancel each other, and you got x minus 4. But if you just put x minus 4, it's wrong. For example, if x is 0, plug in. Here is 0, here is 0. Add 16. Take square root is a +4. But it's not equal 0 minus 4. It's not equal -4. If you put 0, plug in. 16 take square root is a +4. It's not 0 minus x, use 0, plug in, get -4. So if you put absolute value, become positive. If 0 plug in is 16, take square root is 4. If the 0 plug in equal 0 minus 4, it's a -4. Take absolute value, become +4. So this question, you have to put this absolute value of x minus 4. And question 5. If a given a function f of x is equal to x squared, and want you to find out f of 3 plus square root of 2. So 3 plus square root of 2, you put in x. So equal to 3 plus square root of 2 squared. And you can use FOIL method, or use completed square formula. A plus b squared. Quantity squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. A use 3, plug it in. B use square root of 2, plug in. So it's 3 squared plus 2 times 3 times square root of 2 plus square root of 2 squared. So equals 3 squared is 9 plus 2 times 3 is 6 square root of 2 plus square root square cancel each other, get 2. Combine the like term. 9 add 2 is 11 plus 6 square root of 2. Question 6. Question 6. Simplify. Write all answer using radical notation. Simplify. Assume that all variables represented positive numbers. A, like 7 square root of 3 minus 4 square root of 3. Simplify. So this common factor, use distributive property. Common factor, factor out. Like you distributive in is the first 7 square root of 3. Distributive in is minus 4 square root of 3. Now you just do factor out square root of 3. So get 3 square root of 3. So after simplify. B, it's square root of 50x and plus square root of 18x. Minus square root of 72x. So simplify. So first of all, we 50. 50 you divided by 5 is 10 divided by 5 is 2. So it's 5 squared times 2x. Take square root, separate, take square root. 18. 18 divided by 2, it's a 9. Divided by 3, it's a 3. So 18 is a 3 squared times 2x. 3 times 3, so it's a 3 squared times 2x. Then separate, take square root. Separate, take square root. Minus 72. 72 you divide by 2 is 36. And then 36 is 6 over 6. So it will be 6 squared times 2x. Take square root each one. So square cancel each other, get 5 square root of 2x. Plus cancel each other, 3 square root of 2x. Minus cancel each other, 6 square root of 2x. Common factor, square root of 2x, factor out. And in the parentheses, still have 5 plus 3 minus 6. 5 plus 3 is 8 minus 6 is 2 square root of 2x. And question 7. 8. Solve for the radical equation. It's a equals square root of x minus 3 plus 4. Radical equation. Solve for the x. So first of all, we have to isolate the radical term on one side. On one side, only have a radical term. There's no, like this one, have a square root of x minus 3 is radical term. Leave this radical term on the right side and make this 4 to the other side. And a minus 4 is a 4. Now, and then you square both sides. Then you can remove that radicals. So you got it's a 4 squared is 16 equals square root square cancel each other is x minus 3. Then add the 3 both sides. So the 19 equal x. So it's x equal 19. And you can plug it in. Check. 19 minus 3 is 16. Take square root, it's a 4. 4 add a 4 equal 8. So 19 is the solution. Then B, 7b. Also solve for the radical equation. X equal to square root of 2x minus 6 plus 3. So first of all, we have to isolate this radical term on one side. So we minus 3 both sides. So that's become x minus 3 equals square root of 2x minus 6. Now and then you square it. This square root can removed. So become x minus 3 squared equals 2x minus 6. Then square this, use the formula. Formula is a minus b quantity squared equal a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So it's x minus 3 quantity squared, x put in a, 3 put in b, got x squared. A squared is x squared minus 2 times x times 3 is 6x plus 3 squared is 9 equal to x minus 6. And then you move this minus 2x and add a 6. And this side is 0. So you will get is x squared minus 8x plus 15 equals 0. And factor it, x equals 0. Find two numbers tying together is 15. Add together it's negative 8. So it's negative 5, negative 3. So then either x minus use 0 factor property. Each factor equals 0. So you got x equal 5 or x equal 3. And then you have to check it. Check. Original equation is this one. Is check x equals square root of 2x minus 6 plus 3. Check with original radical equation. First of all, x equals 5. Plug it in. Is 5 equals 2 times 5 minus 6 plus 3. 5 equals 2 times 5 is 10 minus 6 plus 3. So 5 equals 10 minus 6 is 4 plus 3. So 5 equals 2 plus 3. So 5 equals 5. It's checked. So x equals 5 is a solution. And now check x equals 3. X equals 3, plug it in x. X is 3 equals square root of 2 times 3 minus 6 plus 3. So the 3 equals 6 minus 6 plus 3. 3 equals 0. Take square root. It's 0 plus 3. So the 3 equals 3. Checked. So solution. This is box, the solution. There's 2 solutions. The next one, it's question 8. Question 8, find the distance between 2 points. A, if given 2 points, negative 2 and 4, and the other one is 1, 8. So find the distance. Find the D. D formula, distance formula is if given 2 points, difference of x coordinate square, difference of y coordinate square, add together, take square root. It's the distance formula. This is the distance formula. So you can assume this is x1 and y1, plug it in. And this is x2 and this is y2, and you plug it into the formula. So it's the difference of x coordinate, negative 2 minus 1 square, add difference of y coordinate 4 minus 8 quantity square. So equal to negative 1, negative 2, negative 1 is negative 3 square, add 4 minus 8 is negative 4 square. So negative 3 square is 9, negative 4 square is 16, take square root. So add together, 9 add 16, 25. So distance between the 2 points is 5. And B, and find the midpoint formula. Midpoint formula, it's the sum of x coordinate divided by 2, the sum of y coordinate, y1 add y2 divided by 2. So if given the 2 points, negative 2, 4, and 1, 8, the 2 points. And this is the x1, y1, first point, this x2, y2. And plug into the formula. The x coordinate add together, negative 2 add 1, comma. And y coordinate add together, 4 add 8. So simplify. Negative 2 add 1 is negative 1 over 2. 4 add 8 is 12 divided by 2 is 6. So that's use the distance formula. You are able to get the answer. And question 9a, it's about the complex number. Complex number, we have to talk about the because any number square equal negative 1. Any real number square equal negative 1 is there's no real number. Any real number square, if a positive, square is positive. Negative square still positive. 0 square is 0, never equal negative. So this we need to put down as a positive and negative square root of negative 1. And then we define this as I. So we define I define equal square root of negative 1. And this is a imaginary number. We call imaginary number. Now from here, since I is the square root of negative 1, we define it. Now we square both sides. So you will get I squared equal square roots, square cancel each other, get I squared equal negative 1. That's another formula. I squared equal negative 1, another formula. And then we times by I both sides. So I squared times one more I is I cubed equal negative 1 times I is negative I. So that's another formula. Since I squared equal negative 1, then we square both sides. Then we'll get I 2 times 2 is 4 equal negative 1 squared is positive 1. So that's another one. So there, let's summarize those. Will be first one. It's I define equal square root of negative 1. And I square equal, and both sides square, I square, negative 1, square root cancel, get negative 1. And both sides times I. This times one more I become I cube. And this times I. Negative 1 times I is negative I. And then this I squared, yeah, I to the power 4 equal negative 1 squared become positive 1. Then you add one more. Any number to the power 0 is equal 1. Any number to the power 0 equal 1. And this can be proved. Any number to the power 0 equal 1. So that's, we got this basic formula. So let's do question 9a. Is simplify square root of negative 48. That is a square root of 48 times negative 1. Then separate, becomes square root of 48, square root of negative 1. Then 48. 48, you do prime factorization. You can do divided by 4 is 12. Divided by 4 is 3. So it's a 4 square. 4 times 4, 4 square times 3. That's 4 times 4 is 16. Times 3 is 48. And the square root of negative 1 is I. And then this separate, take square root. 4 square, take square root out. It's 4. 3, you cannot square root out. It's still square root of 3. I. So there's a quick way to do. If you have a negative in the radical, you just take this negative sign out. Become I. And the 48 is 16 times 3. 16 take square is 4, square root of 3. That's a quick way to do. 9b, simplify. I to the power 59. Now, I to the power 59, 59 is divided by 4. You got 1, 4, 9, and 4, 16. Remainder is 3. So, 59 is equal 4 times 14 times 3. 4 times 14 is 56. 56 add 3, it's 59. So you can write like this. 4 times 14 is 56. Add 3, it's 59. So this one, you can use power rule of exponent. 4 times 14. And use product rule of exponent. The same base as I. So it's 4 times 14 add 3 equal 59. So separate, right, like this. This is the power rule and the product rule of exponent. You add exponent, you got 59. And then I to the power 4 is 1. 1 to the power 14 times I cube. I cube, it's a negative I. Negative I. And 1 to the power 4, it's 1 times 1 times 1. 14 of 1 times together is 1 times negative I. So answer is negative I. And there's a quick way to do. The quick way to do it's when 59 divided by 4 and got remainder is 3. So it's equal I to the power 3. I to the power 3, it's negative I. I to the power 3 is negative I is the answer. That's the quick way. So it's if given I to the power n will be I to the power r. And where r is what? Where r is the remainder. It's the remainder when n divided by 4. N divided by 4, you got remainder r. So I to the power n equal I to the power r. Next question, question 10a, about the complex number operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the divisions. So a 7 plus 3i minus negative 2 and plus 5i. So remove the parentheses. Got 7 plus 3i. Negative times negative become plus 2. Negative times positive is minus 5i. Equals real number add together. 7 add 2 it's 9. Imaginary number add together. 3i